All right. Welcome back, folks, to another beautiful episode. We are joined this evening in place of Mr. Cameron Cooper by Josh. Welcome back to the podcast. It's good to see you, sir. And joined as always by the commish himself.
What's up? What's up? I think your audio cut out, so like you just raised your hand, but nobody is gonna
Oh
see
shit,
you.
that's horrible.
We got two weeks to recap here, so we'll go rapid fire through them, and then week 7 is already underway as we begin this podcast, so we'll talk about that as well. But looking back 2 weeks ago, hard to remember and one to forget for me, to be honest. I was playing what was a winless Jason at the time. He's on a heater at the moment, but I got absolutely smacked by 50. He chose not to play a second running back, which was a bold strategy, but didn't need it in putting up 188 points because absolutely everybody else on his roster just went bananas on me. I beat the median and lost by 50 in this one. Tough loss.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. It's hard to say you got smacked because you put up a good number, but when someone's putting up 188, that's record breaking. I'm sure that's in the top 10 in the history of the league. It might even be top 5. I know we have a 200 burger, but there's only one of those, so that could be a top 5 score. Um, he had a 36, and then three more guys at least 20 and over. That's a big week. That'll be his best week of the season. As I said, it's even top 5 in our history. So, um, well done, Jason. I mean, well done, Nick, too. I mean, that's a one-on-one game for you. So it's not even that demoralizing. You know, you feel good still after that, but not much you can say. But well done, Jason. I still kind of need an explanation for the Clorox.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I think he made that a couple weeks ago, and there might have been joke about cleaning or something. I need like a history lesson there, Jason. If you listen to this, please give us an explanation on the Clorox because I might have we might be missing something here.
Maybe it was like a clean slate kind of thing. Like, hasn't he only won since?
He has, yes.
Has only one since, yes.
On to the next one. This was the razor tight margin. Johnny with a win over Willie here, 101 to 100. Real close matchup. Quarterback difference of about 10 points there. Not a lot of production up and down the lineup. Isaiah Likely had a game for the first time since week 1, but not enough for Willie to pull out a win here.
Wow, I
Yeah,
didn't
I
know
mean,
it's a close game.
very close game. The difference is less than a point, and if you look at their number one receivers, the difference is exactly a point, and that is the number one receiver versus the number two receiver from last season. Oh, but the difference is the other way. Tyreek Hill scored one more point than CeeDee Lamb, so that's
Well,
not
isn't that
not that.
how it worked? Yeah, see, that was at one point.
That was that one point. Yes,
Yeah.
I it's late over here on the East Coast, so I'm not trusting my brain. So yeah, I mean, unbelievable. That's literally the number one receiver versus the number two receiver, and the number two receiver wins that matchup. On believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean, Willie was doing well, and then he's taking a little bit of a hit. I think he's only gotten one win since his 6-0, he might have been
Mm-hmm.
sliding.
Yeah, it's been a tough go
Yeah,
for Willie.
tough go for Tua as well. I mean, they're saying they want to get him back on the gridiron. What kind of doctors is he seeing?
Yeah, when all the other retired pros are saying he needs to retire, then I don't know. Yeah, this one was tough. I thought I had Troy's number after all these years, but it turns out I don't. Um, yeah, not, I mean, I did okay, but like not a, what he put up 140?
142.
Yeah,
Yeah.
111. I mean, the quarterback battle, he had me there. Our running backs were relatively even, but then I mean, I have Trey Tucker in versus Nico Collins. again, I did okay, but like I had to start making some moves. The Zach Ertz, the Trey Tucker, the Bucky Irving, a bunch of randos on my roster this week. Um, but yeah, I couldn't have really done anything on the bench either, but I'm hoping that I'm soon gonna take a swing with some bigger names on my roster. So one to forget, but what can you do?
Yeah, this is one of the favorite matchups of the year. You know, definitely a rivalry game. Everyone's got this circled when they see Troy and Josh button heads. Um, you know, tough
Mhm.
matchup. Both teams are kind of in the playoff hunts, but not probably in a top two position at the moment, which interesting. You normally see Josh, you know, at the top of the regular season rankings. So to see him kind of in and amongst the middle of the pack is an interesting sight.
This
But
could
you
be a
know,
good sign.
yeah, it could be. You know, maybe it's a slow burn this year. That might be what you need. But yeah, I think you know, really the quarterback matchup tells the story here. And to be honest, if you had told me before the week one of these quarterbacks is going to score 33 points, I would have thought it would be Jaden Daniels, just the way
Yeah.
he's been playing. So you know, kudos to Troy. He got one over on his arch nemesis.
Well, I don't know. Troy's might be my arch nemesis of the past. I have a new one
Ooh,
this year.
turn in a new page. I like it.
It can't go without saying that this matchup involves Joe Burrow once again.
I
I think
know.
that's exactly who was the centerpiece a season ago and maybe even 2 seasons ago as well. So, yeah, I mean, 142 wins you games and 111 doesn't in this league. So it's as simple as that.
Tough.
We've talked in the past about how Alex can be just a thorn in people's sides, and he takes a shot at the defending champ here, gets him by 7. Close matchup. You know, Collins' rule of thumb is 130 wins matchups, and Alex just gets over that, and Cam just falls short of that here. Um, you know, a good matchup. Both teams kind of with relatively even production up and down the roster. We'll talk about Rashid Shaheed being out for the year. That's going to be tough for Cam going forward. But yeah, I mean, the defending champ is sputtering here a bit.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that Dak Prescott leadership on his team. I distinctly remember in the draft, it was Dak just rotting on the draft board. And then I picked up Jaden Daniels, which obviously worked out, but that just left Cam with Dak, who was good last year. I just like, yeah, I just don't like him. So I just don't think he's your guy for the rest of the year.
That's a fair point. I mean, Team Double Stack is riding those dirty birds between the Cardinals and the Falcons. Those were where all his points came from. And I'm with you there. I'm not really a big Dak Prescott fan, even though he finished as the number 3 quarterback last season, which is surprising. I didn't know he was at that level. But a 3 point game, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but he gets only 3 points in week 6, and we're talking about week 5. Um, Alex getting it done, 132 points. You said it, Nick. 130 points wins you games in this league, unless you're playing, Jason on his 188 point week.
Yeah, that was tough. Next up, we had Trevor with a decisive 40-point win over a team that just can't buy any momentum this season. And Rob, his team name says it all, 0 days since last injury. Sam Darnold had been looking good, and he just did nothing in week 5. Jalen Waddle doesn't have a quarterback at the moment. Really just, you know, even though he got a 25-point performance from Tank Bigsby out of the second flex, just not a lot else to write home about here from Rob.
Yeah, I mean, poor Rob is just getting injury destroyed. It's not much else to it. I mean, I have another league where I'm starting Zach Moss and Chuba Hubbard, and it's just an ugly sight.
Well, Chuba's having a decent season.
Yeah,
He's just on a bad team, so
yeah,
it can only be him, and I
yeah.
guess Deontay Johnson. But it's funny because Rob was telling us about how he's in this league called a zombie league, where one team doesn't get to draft, but they get to pick, the rest of the free agents after the draft. And then if you win in your matchups, you get to take the best player from each team as long as you win. But he didn't sign up for the zombie league in this league, and yet he still seems to have nobody on his team. Nobody wants to show up. If only he could take the best player from the teams that he just beat, he might be able to have one day since his last injury. But unfortunately, Rob, for you, this is not a zombie league. So you're going to have to make some moves for the consolation bracket unless you want to tattoo a karaoke night or to never play fantasy football in this league again.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
we
didn't know
might have
those were
to,
the stakes.
we might have to start a fundraiser here and maybe have a bake sale for Rob. See if we can rally some support for him. It's just been a tough season for him.
Yeah.
And last but not least, an important win. Two other teams that are kind of battling for playoff position at the moment. Kamish, your victory over one of the winningest teams, according to Cam, in league history here.
But not the winningest team. Let's be clear on that.
Understood. Understood.
Sorry, please.
Yeah. Wins always feel good. I mean, 125, I feel good about that number. You know, I'm definitely riding this, win one week, lose the next, win, lose. So this was a winning week. This is Eric's worst season, I think. So I got him on a down week. I don't seem to my guys just can't seem to get over that 20-point mark. My best weeks are other than Saquon Barkley and Jordan Love, everybody else doesn't seem to be able to get over 20 points. So I kind of am forced to win these close games, or just everyone scores 19 points or something. But I don't have any guys really that can score 20 points, and I don't love that, but I still like my team. So this one felt good. Not much to say here. Um, you know, yeah, just a good solid win, and we move.
And let's take a quick look at week 6. We had a matchup between two of the hosts, high scoring affair. Normally 130 gets it done,
Wow.
but unfortunately, this was another case of 138 not being enough. Good performance from both teams, a lot of green up and down, but Chris Godwin really had a great performance, and that was kind of the difference here in this one.
I said it to you on Sunday night when Amon-Ra scored that garbage ass 5-yard touchdown, which gets you 7.5 points or something, or maybe it was a 10-yard, whatever. Literally, the difference in this game is essentially that touchdown. And I said it to you Sunday night that this one's gonna hurt because I wanted this win. I wanted the win against the number one team. I wanted the win to put myself either 1 or 2 with points for, because I'm number 3 in points against. So I'm getting everyone's best shot right now. And of course, Derrick Henry, Chris Godwin, and Tony Pollard have just I guess this is what they're going to be doing this year. And then who the fuck is Tyrone Tracy? And oh my God, this one hurt. I like my 138. That's I'm okay with that. But this one hurt. I wanted the top dog win, and I came up short. So I'm coming with a vengeance the rest of the year. That's for sure.
Yeah, even the zero burger from Goddard, Nick still just
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, got hurt early. I've started Tyrone Tracy and Darius Slayton both the last 2 weeks. It's tough when you're relying on the New York Giants offense in fantasy, but those guys have come through for me. So gotta appreciate it. And Josh, I wonder what it's like to see your old boo, Derrick Henry, just lighting it up for my squad this year.
I got so scared drafting Derrick Henry this year just with the Lamar Jackson of it all. And it is what it is. It sucks. I love King Henry.
I do too. He's been leading the squad so far.
Give me.
um, Another tough loss for Cam here against another kind of competitor for a playoff spot here. Johnny 126, only 90 points from Cam, underperforming the pre-week expectation by about 27 points. Dak Prescott largely responsible for that.
Yeah, you don't win. You'll win 0% of your games with 100 or less, let alone 90. And as we will see for the rest of this week, a few people only scored 90 points. So low scoring week all around, I guess, is what you call that. But you're not winning games with 90 points. No way. Well done, Johnny, to get back to 500. But Cam is going through it, and I'm sure 11 out of the 12 of the league members are happy to see it.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we all wanted, right? The shiner shade I'll give is Cam misses the playoffs, which I know we're not at shiner shade time, but I'm shining that and I'm hoping for it.
I'm gonna shine it too. I mean, I'll play along with that. I think Cam's he's panicking a little bit. He's been looking for trades. He just lost Shaheed. Um, I think he's in for a tough season. Maybe he squeaks in, but I definitely if he does make the playoffs, I think he's out in the first round, and I'm gonna shine that he misses it altogether.
Yeah, I mean, like this week is definitely an outlier. Like he has no Jonathan Taylor. I mean, who else did he start? Yeah, Neighbors. I guess that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind. I was trying to give him the benefit
It's
of the
slim pickings over there for the neighbors gives me DK.
Well, I'll be a little contrarian here. I'm not sure he misses the playoffs. I'll shade it. I think the trade that he just sent through favors him. To be honest, no offense, Josh. I like ETN. He might not be firing on all cylinders at the moment, but he's too talented uh, to go unnoticed the rest of the season. And then Jamison Williams, he's their home run hitting guy. I think he won that trade. I think that's going to help him. I mean, Rashid Shaheed did go down, but when you replace him right away with Jamison Williams, they're the same kind of player, and he's in a more powerful offense. Jamison, that is.
No,
Um,
I don't disagree with you. I love Jameson Williams. I did not want to give him up, but I knew I'd have to give him something of value. And I also knew he liked. I think he had ETN last year, maybe. So I think
mhm,
the same way that I love Derrick Henry, I think you kind of have your favorites.
yeah.
But my running backs are Brees Hall, or they were Brees Hall, ETN, Jerome Ford, who's never going to see the field again. Like I just needed someone, and Chase Brown is seems to be becoming the guy in Cincinnati. So it was really a running back play. Yeah, and Jordan Addison is solid. He's no Jameson Williams, but
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
I appreciate, I respect the insight from your perspective. Maybe I'm just getting caught up with the names. ETN and Jamison Williams are definitely, maybe more popular, maybe hotter names than those two. Um, but I think he almost like preemptively helped himself with that trade before Shaheed goes down, and now he's kind of got a full roster. If he's got all of his players, he still has, I think, a top 5 team in this league. It's
yeah.
just the scoring and the matchups haven't gone that way yet. I would never doubt the 17-time champ of this league. That's why I'll go ahead and shade that confidently.
My only concern at the trade is that ETN ends up getting real life traded um, to an actual contender or someone who is in need, and I think he could shine in a better situation. I think the
Hmm.
Jaguars are arguably worse than the Giants. So yeah, we'll see how it nets out. I think I'm just
Yeah.
I texted Cam, I was like, I'm just happy to like make a trade because it's fun. Um, he was
Hmm.
originally like, what'll it take to get me Jaden Daniels? I'm like, no, that's not an option.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really like the trade for Cam that much. I think ETN is a lemon. I mean, I have him in another league and have been watching him, and I don't know. He doesn't look like the same dude this season. The Jaguars offense doesn't look like the same offense this season. Tank Bigsby seems to be just taking more and more of that work every week. ETN's dealing with an injury now. I mean, I think we could look back and at the end of the season be like, wow, ETN did absolutely nothing after Cam traded for him. So, I think at best ETN might be in a split carry situation the rest of the season. So I thought it was a shrewd trade. I think it's an interesting one. I'm excited to see how it plays out, but I
Mhm.
understood it from both perspectives, and I could see why both teams wanted to make that deal. So I thought it was a good trade for both of you.
I think it was kind of a Jamison Williams for Chase Brown and Addison with like the cherry on top being ETN because like there's no you can't get anything for ETN. He's doing nothing. But he obviously could with the name value. So I don't know. I obviously am happy with the trade before they've played. So we'll see. But I do really like Jamison Williams, so I'm sad to see him go.
Yeah. All right, on to the next one. Another one of the top seeds so far this season goes down, loses the number one spot. That's been a bit of a curse so far this season. I think 3 or 4 times the number one team has lost the crown within a week of gaining it. The Fighting
Mhm.
Wu Dangs with a win this week, get 2 victories on the board to get to 7-5. Big win for Troy here. His team's trending in the right direction the last couple weeks.
Absolutely. 138 points with 2 goose eggs. That feels good. Just got to fill in those roster spots. Tight end's been very scarce this season. And it doesn't look like he's even got a backup tight end. So he's going to have to address that if he hasn't already. Um, and then Trevor, I mean, I'm not sure what's going on there. We know that he has a strong team, but I guess he's just lost a little bit of momentum. Maybe he'll get it back after some of these buys. I don't see many injuries on his team either, so don't know what's going on there. But well done, Mu Dang. They're going to keep fighting as his team name would suggest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see Troy lose as well. Oh wait, I mean Troy won. Shit, I missed that. My inner monologue was talking. Um, no, as a friend, I'm proud of Troy. So that's all I'll say on the matter.
The story continues, unfortunately, for Rob, a 94 point performance. Josh just never really in doubt here for you here.
Yeah, this one just felt bad. You know, Zach Moss was 0 points. I know ETN was negative points, so sure. But yeah, you gotta feel for Rob. There's not much to say. My team did well. They did the Collins magic number of 130, but they obviously didn't even need to. Um, Brees Hall started performing. He was another kind of question mark on my team at the running back position. So it's nice to see him do well. I think he'll probably benefit from the Devonte Adams trade. I think it'll just free up some space for him. I mean, Trey Tucker is probably not going to see my starting lineup ever again. I love the I
What
love
about after the Devontae trade? He might be wide receiver one now.
I mean, Devonte Adams hasn't
Mm-hmm.
played there in 3 weeks. It doesn't matter. Um, I love the Jaden Daniels Terry McLaurin connection. I think that was sort of the gamble I made on draft day. And it's paid off. So yeah, overall, and Mark Andrews, thank God, came to life. Bucky Irving. Yeah, my guys did pretty well. And I'm hoping, I mean, it sounds like I'm going to have Adams and Cup back this week. So I'm hoping to get back in the contender conversation.
And you're getting Hawkinson. I think he practiced today.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that guy.
Um, Limited in practice for the second straight day. So yeah, I mean, you are gearing up for the second half of the season. Um, well done, 137. Not much to say on the other side. I've already played Rob, so I can say this without jinxing anything. That's a free win. But I do play him again. I guess it would be week 12, and that's that's the last week before the playoffs. So I hope that doesn't affect my seeding now that I just put that karma in the air. But
especially when he has Pacheco and McCaffrey back.
yeah, no, for sure. Well, there you go. Week 12 a loss. Put it in the books for me. I'm pretty sure I have at least 1 or 2 buys as well. So we'll just roll with the punches here. But well done, Josh. And now you're gonna have a different outlook for your team with that trade. 137 will do it.
I think we might be seeing a return of the deep bench Josh's here. I mean,
Oh,
he's got a good squad, and he's got more guys coming back. Devontae, Cooper Kupp's going to be coming back as well.
Dubes played well. You might see my starting lineup this week.
This could be the deep bench Josh's. So we'll see.
Don't forget about Dubes.
Dubes.
Clorox continues his hot streak. I said in the group chat this week, is Jason the hottest team in the league? And he might be. 4 straight wins. Justin Fields might not even be the starter anymore, but he put up 24 fantasy points last week. So another strong performance from him. He gets a win over a strong Eric squad. I mean, anytime you beat Eric, that's a statement win. And when you do it to get to 4-8 and put yourself back in the playoff mix, that's huge from Jason.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it wasn't the magic 130, but got the job done.
It's definitely remarkable how many single digit performances Jason has, and he gets the win. I mean, Justin Tucker with 13, Kittle with 20, Joe Mixon with 26, and Justin Fields with 23. Everybody else is 10 or less, 9 or less for that matter. You don't win a lot of games like that, and Jason's pulling it out. You're right. He is in the playoff contention here. He could easily make a little bit of a run here to just even fight for that 8 seed. I don't know who he plays next week. We'll get to those matchups, but watch out whoever's playing Jason, because he's coming to wipe the floor with his Clorox wipes.
Clean slate.
And last but not least, a matchup of 2 of the quieter teams in the league. An interesting matchup. James Cook was out, and Willie did not have anyone to replace him with. And Alex countered by doing the gentlemanly thing and not playing a defense. So both were down a man here. And that might have cost Alex because he lost by 3.5 points. And most of the time, your defense is going to get you that. So tough, to see that kind of inactivity costing you a win here against Willie's squad. But kudos to Willie. He overcomes the deficit there. Not a lot of points from his Bills offense. He got 24 from Josh Allen, but only 3 from Shakir, and obviously none from Cook. And we've talked about how Willie's season is going to go however the Bills offense goes. But 94 points, and he does get a win.
Yeah, I mean, if only he had Amari Cooper, this would be just the perfect team. He should make that.
Yeah, Alex has Amari Cooper, believe it or
Oh, wow. There you go. Maybe
not.
we see a trade happen this week.
Yeah, I mean, Alex riding the Dirty Birds and not enough. If he plays Bills defense, he wins this game, and he is 5-7 instead of 4-8. And then Willie would have been 6-6, so that would have been an interesting outcome there. Willie skirting by. He had a lot of things to say at the beginning of the season, but I haven't heard from him. Where you at, Willie? Will he ever lose? I think we answered that quickly.
Will he ever win
again?
Will he ever win again? Oh shit.
So let's take a quick look at the standings here heading into week 7. Cam currently outside of the playoffs looking in. Jason, on a heater, but only 1 game out of the playoffs now. Eric, who, as we talked about, one of the historically good teams, is sitting there in that last playoff spot. Johnny and Willie kind of, shaky teams at the moment, but they're holding on to their playoff spots as well. Any thoughts as we kind of look at the standings here and who's in and who's out?
Uh, I mean, I can't see any of these guys who are out getting in except Cam, who I also don't think will get in. I mean, it depends how Clark's, if he stays hot, if he keeps the slate clean. But yeah, I think those four, that 7 to 10 kind of line up there, I think those guys are your real wild cards. I think that obviously, but like I don't think I could make a good guess about who is in and who is out.
One thing that's interesting to me is if you look at 6 through 9, they're in reverse order of points scored so far this season. So the 6 seed has fewer points scored than the 7, which has fewer points than the 8, than the 9, etc. So it's kind of interesting that on record, Cam is the worst of those 4 teams between the 6 seed and the 9 seed, but on points forward, he's the best, and Willie on the other end, is the worst. Cam has, I think, the third most points against so far this season. So he's had a porous defense from a fantasy perspective. So I know I
Hmm.
kind of shined it earlier that he was gonna miss the playoffs, but when I look at it this way, it's hard to see all three of those teams holding him off the rest of the year. I guess he is harmed a bit by the fact that he lost Shaheed, and in my opinion, he picked up a terrible running back in ETN this week. But you know that's the race to me. That's going to be interesting to see. I agree. I don't think Jason has the horses to hold off these teams and jump in front of someone the rest of the year. But the race to me is, can Cam overcome one of these three teams that's in front of him? And maybe it's Willie that's most likely to miss out, despite the fact that he's the 6 seed right now, just based on the fact that he's scored fewer points than the teams behind him.
Well, Cam is off to a good start because Javonte Williams has 2 touchdowns, so he's
Wow,
finally come to.
another one.
But yeah, I think Willie missing the playoffs is a hot take, but it is an interesting one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you want to look just based on records, the 3 to 11 seed are only a 2 week swing, right? I have 7. I'm the 3 seed with 7 wins. Alex is the 11 seed with 4 wins. He goes 2-0 and goes 1-1 the very next week, and I do the opposite. It's flipped, you know. So anything, it's wide open this league. Um, and as you said, Nick, Jason is tied for the hottest team in the league right now with 4 wins in a row. The other team that has 4 wins in a row going into this week is the Fighting Mudangs. So Troy and Jason are the hottest teams. The coldest team in the league obviously would have to go. It's tied 3 ways between Rob, obviously, and then Cam and Eric have lost 4 in a row as well. So those would be the trending up and trending down teams there. This thing is wide open. I love to see it. We just passed the halfway mark in the regular season, so that's just great news for everybody. Everyone's in it. Make those moves. I mean, even the Jets and the Bills, the real NFL teams, are making moves. So I would follow in the footsteps of what the the organizations are doing, and if you feel like there's some value out there, go ahead and take it while it's hot.
Yeah.
Let's talk quickly about the waiver wire, and then we'll touch on this week's matchups. There's been a lot of chatter in the group chat about Eric and not knowing how much fab he has for the season. There's been some interesting comments coming out. I think Todd Bowles said today that they're going to ride the hot hand at running back among their 3 running backs now. So you don't love to hear that when you drop more than half your fab on a guy who might be one of a 3-headed monster in the running back room there in Tampa Bay. But, it is what it is at this point for Eric. A couple of 11 spots for Kamani Vidal and Bub Means. Eric ended up spending 62 of his 100 fab this week there. And then, some smaller dollar changes, some kickers and backup running backs, etc. I think this Isaac Guerrero pickup by Troy might end up being an interesting one.
Yeah.
I know there's some injuries. Jordan Mason might be hurt this week. That might be a good $3 pickup there from Troy at the end of the week.
Yeah, I like that one. I think especially for $3, like it's a test, like, and you don't have much on the table for it. I'm not even gonna talk about the Sean Tucker one because let's just call it a mistake. Um, yeah, there's been some good chatter about Kamani Vidal. I think you're really banking on maybe J.K. Dobbins, who is injury prone, like getting injured. And Gus Edwards, I believe, is on the IR, so like he is a backup. So like it's not bad for $11 if you take away the $51 spend. Um, I don't hate it. I think there's a lot of people. Oh wait, that was Troy. Never mind. Thought that was Eric. Bub Means. I mean, I don't think he's doing anything tonight.
No, 1.5 so far.
Yeah. It was a risk. Again, I think all these risks, independent of the $50 risk, are okay. But
Yeah, nothing crazy except for the Sean Tucker 51 pointer, $51 spend. I mean, what are we doing here, Eric? Please, like, I want to hear your thoughts in the chat. Like, I know you already explained that you thought we had $200. I don't know what kind of luxury ass fantasy football leagues you're in, but we have $100 here, and you're spending it on a guy I learned about during the game. I learned about Sean Tucker as he was scoring his 31 points in a single game. I don't think he even had a total 1 point in the previous 5 games.
I mean,
So
also, yeah.
please, Eric, and what's going on with your team too? Like, is this just an off year? Are your priorities not straight? Do you have another fantasy football league that has $200 and the Gucci bags that you're focusing on? Because what the heck? He had a total of 2 points, 2.6 points before this game, and you're dropping 62 in a week. I'm just going in on you, Eric, just because I feel like it. But god damn, I need some more explanation because that ain't gonna cut it. I mean, Willie got away with Isaiah Likely because we all wanted Isaiah Likely. This man, Sean Tucker, had one other bid from the guy who bids on everybody. Nick Reiner, the host of this podcast, bids on everybody. I'm telling you, if there was I'm telling you, this man, Nick Reiner, bids on everybody and anything that shows a little bit of skin.
Click on the New Orleans Saints one. Oh fuck, that was me.
I swear, like, we saw the history of this league. Josh, you had 226 transactions. I beat you just by 2 there with 228 transactions. Nick, if there was a record of bidding, Nick has the most amount of bids, not by dollar amount, but by individual bids.
I just like to drive up the price. I don't want anyone to get anybody for free. That's my deal.
Well, you made sure that happened with Sean Tucker, huh?
I'm already regretting we're halfway through this game or a little bit more, and I dropped Will Lutz this week, and he's put up 17 so far this evening. So not looking like a great decision by me to drop him this week after only getting 5 out of him last week. But it is what it is. Kickers are hard to project.
Well, aside from one kicker, young.
Very true. Very true. Let's take a quick look at the week 7 matchups and we can wrap this sucker up. As we noted, we're already a little bit more than halfway through Thursday night football, so a little bit of progress here that we can talk about. I am playing the last ranked team in the league at the moment, but we are taking them seriously. Okay, we're not going to sleep on the Mr. Masarofos here this week. We got 11 at the moment from our Detroit defense. We're happy with that. Unfortunately, we don't have the 17 from Will Lutz, but hopefully Reichard can do his thing for me. I expect to win this matchup. It's the number 1 against the number 12 seed, but Vandy can beat Alabama, so we're not gonna take him lightly.
No, as you shouldn't. And that's what Jason's team name was before it was Clorox, was the Commodores. So I understand that reference. Still needed some clarity on the Clorox thing. I know we're not going to get any live tune-ins here. I have a question. I know you like the the New York Giants offense. How come you don't have Tracy and Slayton next to each other? I'd love to hear your opinion on the optics of your team going into each week.
It's a good point. I did not think about the roster positioning, but I'll talk to my assistant coaches and we'll see whether we can make some lineup shifts that would appease the fans.
All right, that's good enough for me.
So should we make some college game day predictions as we go through here? I'm going to back myself.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, that's quick. I mean, you're already starting with double digits from your defense. That's a great start to a Thursday night for sure.
And an important one from a playoff seeding perspective, Trevor is holding on to the 2 seed right now, but with a loss, that race would get a lot closer. Alvin Kamara not doing a whole lot tonight. He's going to need some receptions. He's got 5 of them, but he's going to need some more in order to kind of pad the stats there. Sleeper thinks this one is going to be about a 2/3 shot for Trevor to pull out a win here. I think I agree. I mean, I think I like Trevor's team a little bit more. Unfortunately, New Orleans giving Johnny negative points at the moment, so that's not going to help the squad out. I'm going to go with Trevor in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I unfortunately faced Team J3 Swish when Kamara put up 40 or 50 or whatever he did. So I think when he's not doing that, like this team is solid, but like Tyreek is nowhere to be found without Tua. Kenneth Walker's solid. Like it's a good team, but if Kamara's not performing, he's not.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to go with Trevor based on all the right reasons, but he is missing his arguably most valuable player in Brandon Aubrey, the number 1 kicker. And I think that's demoralizing for a team there. I know he might not be your best player, but as the glue guy, as the most consistent, arguably maybe even the captain of the team, when you don't have that kind of leadership, it's hard to fill out the rest of the pieces there. I'm gonna go with the upset here. I think Johnny 3 can pull this out, even starting from behind with the negative defense on a Thursday night.
Wow, I like it.
That's crazy.
This one feels like an easy one to pick, given what we've seen so far this evening. Cordero Sutton is a MIA at the moment, just absolutely a no-show. And on the flip side, one of the many Jay Williams who has suited up for the Fighting Camerons this season has put up 23 points as we speak. So give me Cam to get himself back into the playoff mix this week.
Yeah, I mean, I might not have gone that way if I didn't see, where we're at right now. But I think wide receiver 0 and running back flex running back with 23, it's hard to come back from.
Yeah, Cam needs this win a little bit more, just for saving his season and being still in the mix. I'm a big believer in Javonte Williams. I love seeing him perform to his ability. I think he's a fantastic runner. He looks mean when he's got the ball, and I love to see him going off like that. I do believe Cam pulls this off partially because he doesn't have to start Prescott this week. There is no quarterback decision for him. Prescott's on a bye, so he's got to go with Cousins. I think when you don't have to make a decision in a specific position group, that helps mental clarity. That helps dome activity. As you can see, top 3 guys going to be in a dome this week. I think Cam's got this just based on flushing his system out with any bad and negative energy. And he's already off to a rocket head start. So this one's going to Cam.
Yeah.
And then we have 3 matchups that do not have Thursday night football players. So these are all square at the moment in terms of points scored. The Washington Commanders against Smoke and Mirrors. We've got our two podcast hosts this week squaring up. What do you guys think?
I don't know, that Jacobs Barkley combo scares me. I know Jacobs hasn't been like a machine. I mean, he's been pretty good, but it just scares me. That's a nice two-headed 1-2 punch you got there.
Yeah, I've been happy with it so far. Like you said, Josh Jacobs has not been what he was doing last year for the Raiders, but he's just working his way into that offense. This has been the toughest week for me as far as lineups are concerned, because last week I missed a lot of points on my bench. So that's really throwing me for a loop on who to start. Lazard looks like still the guy for the Jets, but now that you got Devontae Adams there, I don't know what Lazard's going to be able to do. And Pickens has been completely MIA. So, and they're playing against each other on the Sunday night. So this is definitely my most confusing and most strenuous lineup decision so far this year. For that reason, I'm going to say that Josh could take me on this week. I'm obviously going to back myself and pick myself, but it would not surprise me that the mental turmoil that I've gone through so far will play out into the matchup itself. And Josh, I think you might steal this one from me.
I'm gonna go with Oh, go ahead, Josh.
No, go Nick.
I'm gonna go with Josh as well. I mean, I'm a Packers fan, so obviously I follow the team closely. I think this is a week where we might lay an egg as a team. I'm not super confident in us against Houston. I think that Houston offense is really good. I think they're going to score a lot. They might put us in situations where we have to throw, and the Houston defense is legit. So, I mean, I think this could be a week where people realize that Houston is a Super Bowl contender, and maybe we lose a game that should have been close or that we should have won in some people's eyes. So, I'm a little nervous about Love and Jacobs at the top of the lineup. I think Sleeper projects them to get about 30 points. I'm going to say they produce 20 collectively this week. And I think in a close one, I'm going to take Josh.
Yeah, I mean, I think Colin, we scroll down a little, Nick?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you have Diggs too. I mean, this you benefit from this being like a gun show with this Packers Texans game. But yeah, to Nick's point, if it's not, you're obviously heavy Packers. And I got Dubes right on my lineup too. So I mean, we'll see. I think my week is gonna see how the trade nets out with Brown and Addison right at the top there. So it'll be interesting. And then Mark Andrews might be nothing again after one successful week. So, and Brock Bowers is pretty incredible and only going to eat more without the Devontae conversation going on. I don't know. I think it's gonna be pretty close. Like I could see this being one of those very like 5-point games between us. Not to
Yeah, it'll be
That's fair.
exciting. The only Monday night player is Mark Andrews, so it could come down to watching Mark Andrews on Monday night and seeing can he close whatever the deficit is coming into that game.
That is that's a tough pill to swallow.
There's a lot of players in the same game. I mean, you mentioned Jacobs and Love. You got Dubes over there, and then Diggs is also in that game. But I also got Pickens, and I got Steelers defense. Whereas you have Devontae Adams. I'm thinking about starting Lazard. He could be in this game,
and
and Brees Hall. Yeah, so a
Yeah,
lot riding on 2 games.
and it's not even that they're in the same game. It's like with the Steelers defense, it's like you have a seesaw. So like if these guys go off, then you lose points.
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
Not to mention if you start Lazard and he goes off too.
Right. Which I have my own personal principle against that. I will do everything I possibly can not to start a player against my defense,
Yeah.
but sometimes you can't. That's unavoidable. But that's why I have Pickens in there right now, is because I can't. It's just so counterintuitive. It's just so counterproductive to make the decision to start someone against the defense you're starting. I can't do it.
Yeah, no, I hate that as well. It's like you want them to do well, but not score too much. You maybe like one touchdown and then the right like
Yeah, but you like exactly.
possible situation.
We'll also see Josh has Cooper Kupp in the lineup at the moment. Not 100% clear whether he's going to be able to go yet this week. So we'll see whether Josh has to reach for somebody on the bench. Maybe Trey Tucker makes one more appearance.
No.
Josh will take it.
It'll
We'll
probably
see.
be Bucky Irving just to add to that on Monday night drama.
Last two matchups here, we have two 4-8 teams. Winner of this is firmly in the playoff hunt. This could be an early elimination game of sorts if the winner is able to beat the median and the loser loses to the median here. According to Sleeper, Alex is almost a 2-1 favorite here over the hottest team in the league and Jason. What do you all think?
Does Jason not have someone better to start than Jalen Warren?
No.
No, he does not.
We no, we went through this on draft pod. He literally drafted one running back and then forgot that
Right.
you could draft running backs.
Right. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's going to get you like 5 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the game that Amari Cooper plays for the Buffalo Bills. I think they were going to force feed him just to maybe build some chemistry. I'm with Sleeper on this one. I think Alex could you know end the Clorox 99.9 disinfectant rate right now. I'll take Team Double Stack with the Dirty Birds. He's got a lot of dome activity going on. So yeah, double stack me up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go double stack as well. I actually like Jason's team, but the Jalen Warren thing throws me for a loop. Everyone else is great, but it's just not it.
Not so fast, my friends. I'm gonna take the upset. Give me Jason. I think the Chargers defense is able to hold up against Arizona. Give me a low scoring game from Kyler Murray and James Conner, and I'm gonna say Jalen Warren punches in a touchdown to beat his projection.
Oh,
So give me Jason. I think this is one where 105 points wins this one for Jason. I'm going to say it's a low scoring affair, but I got Jason pulling the upset.
interesting.
Hmm.
And last but not least, a 7-5 squad against a 5-7 squad. They're both in at the moment. We talked about them earlier. Despite the fact that Willie has the better record, Sleeper thinks this is also a 2-1 in favor of Eric to win this week.
Does Willie not have someone in, or he just
No, he's
He
he's got
doesn't
a full squad.
he doesn't have his best receiver, CeeDee Lamb.
right?
Um,
James Cook should be in the lineup. No, I think that'll make a big difference.
Probably should be.
he logged a full practice today, so James Cook looks like he'll be cooking this weekend.
Yeah, maybe in place of
That'll
Algier.
that will make a difference, but it won't make up the 15-point projected difference. This one's a tough one because I think Willie's team has, his wheels are falling off a bit. Eric's having a down year. He's just spent half his fob on nobody. At least I don't remember his name already.
He's in the lineup. Sean
Right in
Tucker
front
getting
of
a good start.
you.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Okay, Lad McConkey too. Okay. Um, this one's a tough pick. I'll let you guys go ahead with the pick first. See if I can come up with a reason.
I'm going Willie. I think I think assuming he swaps in James Cook for Algier, well, I don't know. I don't love Shakir and Ray McLeod, and I'm going Willie. I'm gonna stick to my guns here. I'm going Willie.
Give me Eric. I'm gonna say a big performance from Indy's defense against Miami. Maybe he gets 15 points out of the Indy defense. Lad McConkey scores a long touchdown, puts up maybe 15 points himself. There's some injury questions, a lot of Qs up and down both of these rosters, so we'll see
Mm-hmm.
whether all these guys are able to go. But I'm gonna say Eric. I think maybe neither one of these teams beats the median this week, but give me Eric with a 115 to 110 win.
All right, yeah, I'll go low scoring as well. I don't know if either one of these teams will put up 120. If they do, well done. I'll go Eric. I just don't see a lot from Willie's team in this match, at least right now. That does change if James Cook is there. Maybe even Aaron Jones if he's coming back. Officially limited today, so that could change things up a bit. I'm still going Eric though.
I'm interested. I know he only has Justin Jefferson, but there's a lot of Vikings and Lions players in everyone's lineups, obviously, because they're very good. But I mean, they also have incredible defenses, both of those teams. So like, I'm interested in seeing how that game nets out because it's one of those ones where it could be a shootout or it could be just very low scoring.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. More dome
Mm-hmm.
activity there, as you talk about. So
Yes.
yeah, got to keep your eye on that one. Any
Yes.
final thoughts here as we wrap up this evening?
I mean, good start to the season. As I said, it's anybody's league right now. 3 through 11 are only a 2-week swing. Um, well done, Nick, for being 10-2, scoring all those points, having such a good lineup. Um, we're just chugging along here. I think everyone's involved. I mean, I know there's been a few weeks where people may not be setting their lineups totally, but I do still think everyone is involved more so than maybe years past. I like seeing trades go through. I like seeing trades go through on the actual, NFL side of it, but also fantasy wise, I think that's going to stir some things up. I expect to see more trades throughout the next few weeks here. But I think the season's going well, and I think people are enjoying it this year.
Yeah, I think trades are fun. Obviously, I say that as someone who just did a decent sized trade. I think especially in a non-dynasty league, it's like, you don't need to fall in love with your players. I think if you can make some moves that'll help you either down the line or in the immediate future, I think makes it interesting. Gives us some podcast material. So
As a Patriots, if I may, as a Patriots fan, if I may, what's going on with Drake May? You literally have like no number 3 overall quarterback and player in fantasy football, and you're picking up my rookie boy fresh out of the womb, Drake May. Let's hear your thoughts.
there's no startable quarterbacks really on the waiver wire, and I don't have a backup quarterback. So I was kind of just like, I'm gonna need one. I might as well just grab him before he gets hot. Let's go, Pats. And yeah, that was really it. And Demarcus Robinson is just rotting on my bench, so I was like, maybe you should get a second quarterback. That was all.
Okay, well, I will say this. Your backup quarterback that you just picked up has the exact same buy as your starting quarterback that you love so dearly. So
I must have missed
now,
that one.
now, what are your thoughts?
Well, let me just go send him back to the waiver hell. That I was not paying attention to.
That's all right.
Maybe he's hoping to trade said Drake May to
Oh,
another host of this week's podcast. Who knows?
smart. Always
Who
think.
knows? I will
Yeah,
say this.
halfway.
Go ahead.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I will say this. He looked good. Like everyone knows, I don't have to say it. I could say it a million times, but I don't have to say it. As a Patriots fan, living what I lived through my childhood, seeing the goatest of goats. I believe in this guy. I know I might have said that about Mac Jones, but that dude is on another level. Drake May looked good. First start, making some tough throws. He looks like a tough kid. He looks like an absolute gamer. I'm excited about him. Fantasy wise, not so much this year, at least. But the AFC East has a well-rounded quarterback situation, and it starts with Drake May going looking like he did this past weekend.
I think
I was just gonna make the point. I don't know if I recall a week on the waiver wire where there have been two post waiver acquisitions, if you will, of the same player or different players at the same position for the same team. You have here picking up a Green Bay kicker and dropping a Green Bay kicker, and picking up an Indianapolis running back and dropping an Indianapolis running back. I don't recall, at least offhand, any weeks where we've had two of those, kind of trading out the same guy on the same team in a sense.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So interesting little factoid there. But we're halfway through the regular season, halfway home. A lot to figure out. As Colin has made the point throughout this podcast, it's anyone's ball game. I mean, even Rob, who's had a tough go of it, is just 3 games out of the playoffs right now. So 2 strong weeks, and he's back in there. So good luck to everyone here in the second half of the season.
Appreciate that. What do you got going on there with your team, though? You got some waiver wire action coming up in the next couple hours?
Let's see.
Yeah.
What do we got going on here?
Oh, snap.
I got a potential kicker change. That's what I got going on.
Wow.
Oh, I was looking at the trade offer. I thought that was the thing that was live, but it was it's the kicker action.
I rejected this. Yeah.
Okay.
I had a request from Johnny for T. Higgins and in exchange for Ingram and Judy, and I said no dice to that.
Interesting. All right, good stuff. That's the kind of C you only see on the pod. So tune in.
All right. Good luck, everyone, this week. Josh, it was a pleasure to have you on.
Pleasure to be here.
See ya.
Can't wait to whoop
Thanks.
him in a couple weeks.